Hello everybody. So I will be doing chapter 5, which is form inline validation. I'm going to be doing the pair programming with my peer Yasmin. Yasmin, can you see my screen and hear me clearly?
Yes, Martha. I can see the screen.
Okay. So this chapter explains how to implement inline form validation using HTMX. The inline validation means that sorry, there's a track passing. It means the checking if user input is valid immediately, and then it shows feedback directly under the input field. Instead of waiting for the entire form to submit, the validation happens as the user interacts with the input. So we have the whole project is based on the email validation. So we had an example that checks if an email address is valid. So the workflow: user types an email, user leaves the input field, HTMX sends the email to the server, and then server checks if the email format is valid, and then the page updates with a success or error message. All of this will happen without refreshing the page. So we have in our HTML our step 1. Where is our form? Okay, we have our form here, and then we have our input type, which is the email, class form control, a name, email, HTMX email, and then we have our input type, password, class form control. So the HTMX is only used on the email input field for validation, and then the email input is enhanced with HTMX. So the type, the class, the name, and the HTMX. So when the user leaves the input field, the HTMX sends the email to /email, and then the server checks if the email is valid. And the email field will be wrapped in div. So we have our div class, div class, our class is mb3, h target is this, and then hx swap. So the hx target this, the response will replace the current div, and then hx swap outer html, the entire HTML block will be replaced with the response. So this allows the server to return the input field, the validation message, and replace everything at once. And then in our server.js, so the server receives the email and validates it using a regular expression, which is regex. For example, we have our post /email request response, constant submitted email, constant email regex. So the regex checks whether the email follows a proper format. For example, a valid email will be, for example, martha@email.com. And then if the email is valid, the server sends HTML with a success message. So we have our alert somewhere here. We should have alert. Okay, yes. So the div class alert success. That email is valid. So the message appears under the input field, and then the bootstrap styles the message in green. And then if the email is invalid, the server returns please, sorry, scroll down, it will return please enter a valid email address, and then the bootstrap will show this message in red. And then what the user experiences. If the email is valid, the green message appears that the email is valid, and then if the email isn't valid, the red message will appear and it will say please enter a valid email address. And then this happens instantly without reloading the page. So the inline validation, we can use it for email validation, username availability checks, password strength indicators, form error feedbacks, and for sign up or login forms. I hope everything was clear on your side, Yasmin.
Yes, Martha, it was good. You reminded me of a few things that I had forgotten about.
All right, no problem. Thank you. Bye.